camera and give you a little bit of an overview of a tool that I've recently started offering some plans for on my website. That's at riley-tool.com. If you click on the home page, there's going to be a link to the plans page, or you can click on the shop for plans link at the top of the page, and it will take you to a couple of plans that I am offering. One's going to be for this rotary flat plate assembly. The other one is going to be for a grinding fixture, which I'll do a separate video on. But for this fixture in particular, I do have a plan set available, and it gives you everything you need from pictures, dimensions, parts, even a step-by-step how-to with detailed pictures on how to build one of these from scratch in your own shop, and it tells you everything from A to Z on how to get there. Now this plan set is just that, it's just the plans. There's not going to be any physical parts or pieces included with that, but the plans will tell you what you need and where to get them. So just to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more, it is going to be a digital download. It's going to be immediately available as soon as you pay for the plans, which are going to be only $10. And at the very least, you're going to save at least that much having these plans and parts laid out for you. And once you get the part build, the Platen assembly built, you should easily be able to make all that back and more with the time you save and the parts and pieces you're making with it. So just to throw that out there. But as far as the digital download itself, it is going to be a compressed zip file. Once you open that up, it's going to have a number of files included with it. The main one being a PDF instruction manual that has the assembly instructions, parts, dimensions, drawings, templates, and all that included into one singular file. You're also going to have a separate template file if you'd just like to print those out. It's going to be one-to-one drawings that you can print straight off your printer and lay onto your material for center drilling your holes, center punching, drilling, cutting, profiling, etc. You're also going to get the Fusion 360 files. It's going to be a Fusion 360 file as well as a .dxf that can be opened either in Fusion 360 or your choice of drawing viewer. And that will allow you to view the entire assembly or isolate individual parts. You can zoom in, zoom out, rotate them, draw dimensions on them, whatever you need to do. If you have any questions about an individual part or how it goes together in the assembly, maybe a certain part of the plans wasn't quite clear in your mind, you can open that in a 3D viewer and really drill into it as specifically as you need to. And you can also use those plans if you happen to have access to a CNC water jet, laser, plasma, or mill. You can adapt those into tool paths in order to cut the parts and components out yourself or have them cut out for you. So all that's included with the plans, parts list, bill of material. Every individual part is broken down, where to get them, how to get them, where they're used. So pretty much try to include everything that I think one might need in order to build one of these from scratch as simply and easily as possible. Now, for those of you wondering if you need a full machine shop or basic tools or what to build one of these, I tried to cover that in the plans as well. Every bit of this can be built with basic shop tools, woodworking tools, or so on. It is nice if you have a mill and a lathe and other machine tools like that, but they are not necessary. And I go over a few different build tips and techniques in those plans depending on what level of tooling you might have available. Now, as far as the tool itself, just to kind of give you some brief features of it, it does have a very substantial flat platen area. This is a full 8 inches long. And even a little bit longer than that in between wheels. So you've got plenty of surface area for even the widest blades, or if you needed to kind of flatten the length of a blade, that's pretty easy to do. Plenty of surface area for flat grinding. The nice thing about this, if you guys aren't familiar with the benefits of a rotary platen or a rotary flat platen, what this allows you to do, first and foremost, is to use much higher grit belts than you might otherwise be able to efficiently use on a standard flat platen, as you're often contending with what they call belt bump So the thinner or the higher a grit on a belt, the more you're going to get that seam rolling around and bouncing and chattering on your blade. The rubber backing on this belt pretty much eliminates that. So you're able to take this to much thinner, much higher grit belts, get almost a mirror finish right off the platen, right off the machine. And not only does that cut down your finishing time, it cuts down hand finishing should you need to do that. But you can really be almost ready to go straight off the machine, straight off the platen. The other thing it does give you an additional backer for slack belting, convexing, or radiusing. Pretty much the same as a standard rotary platen like you might use. You can use this for that as well. It's just a matter of loosening your pivot, rotating forward. You don't even need to take tension off your belt necessarily. But I've got a nice surface here to convex grind or even sharpen on. I get a nice direct line of sight here. I can run my belt away from me, sharpen an edge right here up close. Or I can continue to rotate that forward to closer to a 90 degree or any other angle that I might need to. I've got a nice short convexing area here. I can adjust tension on my belt and on my wheels to loosen or tighten this rubber belt accordingly. Or if I need a longer surface, I can just continue to rotate around. And as you can see, this does have essentially a full 360 degrees of rotation for any angle that I might need. Access to my slack belt here, or I can roll around to the flat platen. I've got a nice surface here for sharpening, or again, I can put that on just about any angle that I might need. Tighten my clamp. The plans do go over every part of building one of these stub shafts, as well as the tool arm for it to insert into. Or if you don't have the capability of making a stub shaft, it also gives you an alternate option of just using a regular square tube or square bar with a 1/2-inch bolt. That'll do every bit of the same thing. This I think is just a little bit more convenient. You can even put a locking handle or an adjustable handle on there instead of the wrench and the bolt. All that's covered in the plans, just as some different options for you. But very efficient to use. You know, little to no time or effort to adjust that exactly how you need to. And for the average belt grinder, you should be able to adapt a tool rest or a work rest as well, as there's plenty of clearance, you know, behind and around the sides to put a table or a work rest on here. So very functional. Again, I can even angle this forward. You can use it for sharpening, grinding, convexing, radiusing, you name it. It's really a game changer in the shop for finishing. It'll save you time, save you belts, save you money, and the plans go over everything you need to build for yourself. As far as the build cost, again, the plans are only $10. The cost from scratch for all the materials, parts, components, it's probably going to run you anywhere from $300 to maybe close to $400. I think I worked out an average of about $350. The majority of that cost is going to be these rotary flat platen wheels. They're about $40 each. So there alone is about half the price of your assembly. You know, the rest of it's basically off-the-shelf components other than the aluminum you're going to have to machine and the little bracket here, as well as this pivot. And again, I show you how every bit of that's done. It's relatively simple and easy to put together. Time to build this, it'll probably take you at least a day or two, just because of the size and the complexity of the parts. But I really do break down each individual part and component in the plans to simplify it as much as possible, maybe even too much. So I do encourage you guys to check that out. This tool is definitely a game changer, and it's really revolutionized the way I finish knives and blades and other parts in the shop. Use it all the time and really love it. So check out the plans, RileyKnifeandTool.com. I'm also going to have another set of plans for a grinding fixture. I'll do a separate video on that. But I think you'll really like these as well as the tool that you're able to come up with those plans. So check it out. Any questions, by all means, leave them below or reach out to me directly, RileyKnifeandTool@gmail.com. or reach out to me through the social media links on my website, and I will get back to you. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.